Hello, 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 world. This is your host of Aim to Purpose Spiritual Empowerment Hour, Louise Hicks. Please subscribe, leave your comments, give it a thumbs up, and give it a like. We'd like to hear from you and see what you have to say about this upcoming video that I'm going to share with you about sagging. And it's from LilyBell. LilyBell and I met on social media actually because I had shared a video. Don't recall at this moment what the video was about. However, she had given a comment and wanted some clarification. And through that clarification, I found out that Lily Bell is also a content creator out of Georgia. So I've been listening to her most profound videos. And when I saw this one, I said, I have to share this with my audience. So let's go and take a listen. But before we go, again, Louise Hicks here, the mad Black woman, motivated and determined to support and elevate our people to a higher level of consciousness. And when I say our people, I mean Black people, because that was my purpose in starting this podcast. So let's take a listen to what Lily Bell has to say about sagging, which you might learn something. So let's take a listen and see what Lily Bell has to say. And be sure and subscribe to her channel as well because she has some very, very informative content. Here we go.
In search of sanity. Hello, welcome to a moment in time with Lily Bell. We don't have time to read it, we don't have time to aim. Baby, we just gonna fire. This is an excerpt from my book, The Free Falling Black Boy. No swag and no sag. Sagging means when a person wears their pants so low you can see what's beneath the pants. Shorts, another pair of pants, or bare skin, if they don't have on anything under there. I hear many people talking about the sagging culture in prison and seem to think that sagging originated in prison. Several different reasons have been given as to why a person sagged in prison. Sagging goes all the way back to slavery, perhaps even farther back than that. History says that the white slave owner wouldn't give the black enslaved males belts. Therefore, the enslaved black males' pants sagged. The white owner of enslaved blacks felt that it would be difficult for the black males to run if his pants sagged. Cities and some states have passed laws banning sagging. They passed a law against sagging. Preachers marched from all over and convened in one area to protest sagging. Schools have created policies that will suspend students and fine the parents if the student come to school sagging. Churches have created policies that ban sagging in their congregation. Many cities have implemented laws that make it a criminal offense to sag. Now consider this. Many of the schools that are so concerned about sagging pants are rated the lowest in the United States academic-wise. Many of these schools have academic scores that are way below standards. There are more fights and mayhem in some of these schools that ban sagging than in what's considered a war zone. What do you suppose the difference in academic performances would be if the administrators of these schools, if they would just focus or put as much effort into educating as they put in physical appearances? Many young ladies in these churches that ban sagging pants are pushing out babies faster than General Motors pushes out cars. Oftentimes, these young ladies are impregnated by the clergy. Many young men in these churches that ban sagging are wayward, rebellious, and lacking in a sense of direction, which is often due in part to the lack of leadership from the men in the church. Many in these churches that ban sagging are liars, backbiters, whoremongers, and on and on. There's so many hungry people in the community who are being ignored by the church that ban sagging. There are so many lost souls that are being ignored by the church that ban sagging. Yet these churches won't allow sagging in the church. The boys in these churches that ban sagging, worth noting. The boys can't have their pants below their waist, but guess what? The young ladies can have their dresses up to their waist in these churches that ban sagging. Now that's a whole nother podcast. Stay tuned. How do you feel about sagging? Why do you suppose the school is more concerned with sagging pants than with academic success? What about the church and the cities? Why do you suppose the young men are banned from sagging, but the young ladies aren't banned from wearing provocative clothes? Do you think we have our priorities wrong? If you say yes, name some of the priorities that you feel are wrong and list ways you think we can change them. A Nat Turner Runner production. Lock and load. LilyBell. Be encouraged.
Well, thank you, LilyBell. Now that was profound. So I'm going to stop sharing and just give a few thoughts because I believe you shared it all. Sagging and the hypocrisy. And there is hypocrisy, quite a bit of it. You shared it. Thank you so much for that. And that's a lot of food for thought from LilyBell. Please visit her YouTube channel, LilyBell Beneath the Crust. And she goes beneath the crust. And when she's ready and she aims, she fires because she speaks up and speaks out. And that's what we need. And I'd like to add this, a lot of the podcasters, particularly the younger ones, I hear some of them saying, oh, these old baby boomers and the silent generation that's still around, they aren't doing anything. They're just sitting back waiting to vote for those Democrats who visit the churches once every 4 years and they're going to vote for them come hell or high water. But that is not true because I'm a 73 years young baby boomer and LilyBell is also a baby boomer. And you see where she's coming from. She's not afraid to speak up and speak out, and nor am I, because I am LouiseHicks of Aim to Purpose Spiritual Empowerment Hour, where I always tell you your power lies within you. Let it loose because your destiny is your command. And I am this mad Black woman, and that is for motivated and determined to help and support our people, that is, our Black people, to a higher level of consciousness. And LilyBell brought out some very, very significant points about the hypocrisy within the Black churches, how sagging came about because the slave owners, massa, did not want the slaves to run away because they knew if they gave them a belt, that would give them more momentum to run for their lives, run away from all of the atrocities of rape, hangings, uh, mutilations, you name it, all of the atrocities. So, with that said, thank you so much for pointing out how the school system is destructive. The public school system, even some of the private and Christian schools, are destructive to some of us. And I can share a quick story with you about my daughter being in a Christian school in Long Beach, California, that wanted me to put her on Ritalin, candy cocaine, when my son at 14 was sick with cancer. And I told them no. Took my daughter to the doctor, and she said it's nothing wrong with her. She wants attention. Took her to a social worker. She crossed her legs and she sat there and said she wanted to be sick like my son because she was only in kindergarten at the time. And she didn't understand that I had so much time invested in my son who was sick with cancer. And she would talk in class. She even took my jewelry to the classroom and took it on the playground and was handing it out. So, as Christians, this was a Christian school. And I did my homework because I have a social work background, a bachelor's in social work. I'm a motivational speaker, an award-winning author as a result of my son's illness. So we have to pay close attention to those things that she brought out and answer those questions that she asked, because not only do we have to get to the root cause of what's going on in our community, we have to provide solutions to these symptoms, as Dr. Claude Anderson points out. And we need to start unifying and connecting the dots, because you notice in community, as in Black community, the end of community says unity. So let's establish some unity. Let's start working together to build institutions, because we're not going to get the help from anywhere else. And we still must demand and fight for reparations, because that's a debt that's owed. So thank you again, LilyBell, for pointing out the defaults within the churches, and we hope that this will shed some light on the leadership in the churches so that you can do better, because you're supposed to be setting an example for your congregation. And if you're not setting that example and you're part of the problem, how are we going to bring your congregation together? And that's what we need to do. And in terms of sagging, did you know that sagging spelled backward is niggas? So think about that. Sagging spelled backward is niggas. And some of us love to use that terminology. So why would you want to use a terminology that was created by white supremacists to degrade you as a person? And I only use that term when I'm speaking like I am now to get a point across, because I'm right there with my baby boomer sister. We have to do better. And as Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you should do better. So let's come together, do our due diligence. Let's unify and create and learn to build together, connect the dots, because that's how we are going to elevate ourselves to a higher level of consciousness. So subscribe to LilyBell's uh, podcast, Beneath the Crust. That's LilyBell, LilyBell, Beneath the Crust. And she goes beneath the crust when she aims and she fires. So with that said, thank you for all of your support. Be sure and subscribe to my channel. Leave a like, leave your comments, give it a thumbs up, and always remember, your power lies within you. Let it loose, because your destiny is your command. Until next video, I'll see you soon. Much love. Share, share, share.